Hey Julia, is everything all right? Are you mad at me?
A little. I mean, we're not as close as we used to be. I mean, we can't not hang out and, not spend time together and still be good friends.
I'm sorry. I guess I should have been there for you more. Sorry to have neglected you. Can we try again? Hi, I'm Robert.
And I'm Julia, and you are watching Mission 360.
Mission 360 comes to you from the Office of Adventist Mission at the Seventh-day Adventist Church World Headquarters. Every week, we focus on mission stories and challenges all around us.
Today, you will learn more about building friendships and connecting with people on a very personal level. As Christ followers, we want to hang out, help, gain trust, and invite people to follow Jesus with us.
Our special guest today is Wayne Krause, who comes all the way from Australia. He has special stories to share with us.
Hey, do you want to grab a quick snack and we can watch Wayne's interview together?
Sounds good.
Well, Pastor Krause, welcome to the program.
It's good to be here, Gary.
It's not every day I get to interview my brother, but I have some questions for you.
Good.
The Life Hope Centers of Influence in urban areas, we are modeling this on Christ's method. Now, I know that in your ministry, in your church, you've been doing this for many years.
Christ's method is, first off, is mingling with people. And we're not sure that too many of us as Christians do it very well. And we've put a lot of work into making sure that we mingle with the whole intent of their needs and the community, what they want.
Because the studies show us that Adventists are not mingling, that fewer than 30% of Adventists are engaged in any way in their communities.
I think Adventists and Christians at large are very good at doing programs and actually spending time to slow down. We live in a world, particularly in cities, where everyone is so fast. And so if we are wanting to mingle with people, we are the ones who are going to have to slow down because they are not. And so we have to work out a way that we slow our lifestyle down, we spend the time to get to know people.
So your church members are doing this. Does this start? How do they get involved?
I think as a pastor I have to model it, and so I have an office in the local coffee shop in the mall, and that's where I do my Bible studies, that's where I meet people. Last Sunday, a tattoo artist wanted to talk to me about his addictions, and the coffee shop was the best place to do it. He would never have invited me to his home. And that is part of the whole thing that the church is involved in. So we encourage everybody to know that they are ministers and that their role primarily here is to make friends with people who are far from God. So in charities, whether they join clubs, whatever it is, out in the community, doing things with the community, not just for them.
So when you have your office there in the cafe,
Yes.
you do your Bible studies, your premarital counselling, etc., etc. Now, you've got to know a lot of people through this.
Yes, I meet a lot of people there. I have had requests to do the weddings for a number of people from the coffee shop. They actually take my appointments for me. People passing by know I'm there and just stop in. So I'm there 2 or 3 hours a day, usually during the week.
So somebody who's got a 9-to-5 job or is working 40 or 50 hours a week, how do you find time to mingle?
It's a choices that a lot of us have to make. What are our priorities, what we're going to be doing, where we spend our entertainment, and when I want to join a club or something like that, do I just do it for me, or do I actually do it with the intent of mingling, getting to know people?
Or do I only do things with church people?
That's right. And I think when a church says we will not start clubs or sporting groups or things like that, we will join other groups so that we can get to know them, that's a lot easier than trying to start something from scratch.
Okay, so the Saviour mingled, he showed sympathy, he ministered to needs. How does your church minister to needs?
A number of different ways. There is the local public school that we provide breakfast 5 days a week for. And as a result of that, that school came to us, and we're still the only Adventist church, I think, in Australia where the public school has come to our church and said, could you provide us with a chaplain? So we have a chaplain on this public school campus, and as a result of that, we're now able to get more involved with our community as well.
So when the leadership of the school decided they wanted a chaplain, why did they choose your church?
Well, the staff met together with the principal, and they said if it's from that church, yes, because of the Breakfast Club, because they felt that we had been involved with them. We weren't just providing things for them. We weren't trying to manipulate them. We were wanting to be involved with them. They said if it's from that church, yes. Any other church, no. And then they went to the parents of the students and asked the same question, and they said if it's from that church, yes. Any other church, no. So it was fantastic.
So the Australian government now pays for a
chaplain 2 days a week on this school cabinet.
Yeah. So what happened there was you had showed the sympathy, you'd ministered to the needs, and you'd won the confidence, which is the next step.
That's right.
What sort of other activities are church members involved in ministering to the community?
There's Rahab Ministries, which a number of our church people are involved with, which is involvement in the local brothels, and that is they visit the local brothels at the invitation of the brothel owners, and they minister to the ladies that are there and to help them realise that they are important, they're not just objects to be used. And that is a very effective way, again, of mingling, getting to know people without judging, just showing them what the love of Jesus Christ is about.
Now, you've got a skateboard park out the front of the place where you meet. Yeah. They must be a real nuisance on Sabbath morning.
No, it's fantastic because we wanted to be a church where people wanted to be at that didn't have a church background. So it's about 30 yards away from the entrance to the youth centre. That's where we worship. The youth centre was built because where we live had the highest teen suicide rate in Australia for 3 years in a row. So the skate park was put there, and so we have church and kids are skating past the main door, but that's why we're there. So they'll come in. We have lunch every Saturday afternoon after church, and the children come in, the street kids come in and get involved there, have lunch, or we'll take lunch out to them. Our young people mingle with them, and sometimes they'll then turn up at our programs, teen programs on Friday night. It's great. A bit of noisy sometimes, but hey, you don't want a church to be too quiet.
What about if they want to come in and use the bathroom?
The bathroom, you actually have to come into the main hall area where we're worshipping and walk up the ramp to the side. So that's where they come. So they feel free to do that, and it's part of who we are.
So the last step is bid people to follow Jesus.
Yes.
Have you been able to do that?
Yes. The whole issue is discipleship. That's why we do it. We're here to make disciples. We're not just to mingle and just be friends, although if they never accept Jesus Christ, we'll still love them. But we always put that call out that they become disciples of Jesus Christ. And we're excited, very excited when we see, well, I had lunch last Thursday with a heroin addict, and on Sabbath, he came up the front. We had a cross up there for the Easter program, and he came up here and he wants to study so he can get baptised.
Wonderful.
And that's what we're about.
Well, Wayne, thanks very much for sharing with us. And Christ's method and Christ's method alone will bring true success.
My pleasure.
From Australia all the way to the country of China, we continue our mission journey 360 degrees around the globe.
The Tai Chung Church has opened itself up as a community center to help young students after school and to also provide programs for senior citizens in their local community. 4 times a week after school, the church members offer after-school programs for local children whose parents are too busy to take care of them. They provide food, help with studying, and someone to care about their well-being. An added benefit to the program is that people in the local community who have shunned the church in the past are now taking part in the program and have come to understand who Adventists are and what we believe.
Since we do this service, then they start to find out the church now is there is a function of the church for this community.
Not far from the school, a pioneer mission movement pastor and his wife are reaching out into their community. Pastor Jean Cobb Lim was trained as a physical therapist before becoming a pastor, but he and his wife felt the call to serve as missionaries. Mrs. Lim offers cooking and health classes, and Pastor Lim does massage therapy. They've also opened up an upper room as a meeting place where they can teach classes as well as conduct Bible studies. Reaching out to the people of Taiwan can be challenging, but the Seventh-day Adventist Church is reaching out to touch the people's lives on this small but crowded island. Please pray for the people of Taiwan that their hearts will be receptive to the Holy Spirit.
I hope you have been inspired by this video. Maybe you can use some of these ideas to build relationships in your community. Meet people's needs. That's what Jesus did. Mission 360 will be back after a short break.
Travel the world with Mission 360 to encounter exciting lives of missionaries who are reaching people for Christ. Watch tales of faith from people who left behind the comfort and familiarity of home to live and work in remote and strange places. These men and women of extreme faith will inspire your walk with God. To receive a free episode on DVD, call today or visit us online.
Julia, did you know that our world population is approximately 7 billion people and that it might grow to 10.5 billion people by 2050?
Wow!
You know, 100 years ago, 2 out of every 10 people lived in cities, and now along with the population increase, more than 5 out of 10, or over half of the world's population, lives in cities.
Don't you think that's exactly where we should be sharing hope?
No question about it, but most people have small circles of friends and acquaintances, and they might never meet an Adventist Christian. So why don't we visit Copenhagen and see how Seventh-day Adventists are meeting new people in a big city?
In Copenhagen, Denmark, Seventh-day Adventists have opened a thrift shop called Happy Hand. This is not an ordinary shop. It is a center of influence. Here, employees are volunteers and profits are used to help those in need. The shop is beautifully decorated with recycled furniture. People who visit also find a place to sit down, listen to inspiring music, and connect with friendly Christians. Please pray for the center of influence in the heart of Copenhagen, where Adventists are following Jesus' method and bringing people to Him.
Anna, thanks so much for joining us. We've been introduced to Happy Hand. I like the name. How did you come up with that name?
Happy Hand, because we want to give a happy hand to people around us. We want to give a hand to people in need. We want to spread joy, we want to spread happiness. And we have a value sentence that says, pass it on, because we want to pass on hope, happiness, and all the good things that we have, both physically, but also spiritually.
Now, whereabouts is Happy Hand located?
Happy Hand is a second-hand store located in the center of Copenhagen on a very busy street, so we have lots of people walking by our window every day.
I'm sure. Now, I imagine renting a facility is very expensive in the heart of Copenhagen.
It is. We got good help from funding from the General Conference, which we were very grateful for, which helped us to start up this project, and we can actually make money from all these items that we sell, second-hand items.
Wonderful. Now, you care for family ministries for the church in Denmark. You've got 4 children at home. You're a busy lady. How did you get involved in this project?
Well, the leader of the project called me before the shop opened and said, I need volunteers. Could you come and help us? And I said, well, okay, yes. I'll come in every Thursday afternoon for a couple of hours and I'll say yes to 3 months. But I'm still doing it, and it's almost a year ago, because Thursday is my happy day.
Okay.
Thursday is the day that I get to meet a lot of people, and I am able to connect with them. I've made new friends with the people that come into the shop, and it's a wonderful experience.
Now, some Seventh-day Adventists may say, running a thrift store, what's this got to do with ministry? How would you answer that?
I'll answer it this way. Jesus came to this earth to do good to people. He also came to preach. He came to save us. But his primary concern were people around him, people in need, people with needs. And we want to help people. That's why we have this shop. We collect money, and we use those money for charity to help people, both the homeless in Copenhagen, for instance, but we're also digging wells in Malawi or building refugee homes in Burundi for some of these money.
Can you tell me about some people that you've been able to make friends with?
We have lots of friends. We have people coming in from the street who come into the shop and say, "What a beautiful place. Can I sit here for a while?" And we say, "Yes, of course." And we have chairs like this, and they can sit and they can have some refreshments. And we have a person who's in the shop every day just to talk to people. So she comes and sits next to them and they chat. And we've made many friends this way. We also have people who come into the shop and they look around and say, "Oh, what a nice place. Can I come and work here?" So actually 1/3 of our volunteers in the shop, they are not related to the church in any way.
Fantastic. So this woman who comes in one day a week, her task is just to talk to people.
It is. She comes in and she walks around and she can see who wants to be talked to. And in the back of the shop we have a small table, and on that table we have a pen and paper and a box, and people can put prayer requests in that box. We were hesitant in the beginning and thought, well, nobody's going to write a prayer request and put it in a box. But every day prayer requests come into that box, and she's responsible for reading those prayer requests and praying for them. But we also do it together, of course, but it is her responsibility.
So people clearly know that this is a Christian enterprise. Does anybody get upset by that?
I haven't met any.
No.
We have all kind of people coming into our shop. It says on the sign, on the window, that it is owned by the Adventist Church. And it is our window. People can look in and see the church at work, and we can look out and see the world where we live.
I kind of like that second part of it, because so often it's very easy in a church setting to get focusing on your own needs and is the church a happy place? Do we have nice music? Do we have a good preacher? And it's all about bringing people to us. You're actually going to meet people where they're at. Tell me a story of someone that you've been able to perhaps help through this ministry.
Well, we have a lot of different activities going out from the shop. Next week we'll start up a homework or tutorial center for children to come in, children between ages 10 to 15 to come in one afternoon a week, and they can come and get help with their homework. We are helping homeless people every weekend during the winter. We drive out into the city and we have bags of food with us, and we have warm clothes with us, and we help people that way.
So in Adventist Mission, we talk about urban centres of influence. These are places where we can connect to the community and touch lives and minister to needs. How did you find out what the needs were in the community?
We know that there are a lot of homeless people in the area. And we have focused on the homeless, for instance, but we also focused on the children, because many of the people living in this area are immigrants, and many of them have problems in school because of homework, and it can be difficult for them to get the help and the support that they need from their parents to help them do their homework. So that was also a need that we found out, well, this is a need that we can help fulfill.
Wonderful. Looking to the future, what would you like to see happen with Happy Hand?
Oh, we have a lot of plans. We do concerts once in a while in the shop.
Yeah.
We do seminars, family life seminars, parenting seminars. We have a group of 3 young psychologists who are starting seminar evenings next month, taking up different subjects like bullying or self-worth, depression, anxiety, all subjects like this, to address some of the needs in the community.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Anna-Mai, and all the best with the continuing project. And viewers at home, pray for Happy Hand. Pray for centres of influence all around the world that are connecting with needs, following the example of Jesus in holistic ministry.
When you think of cities, you think of tall buildings, lots of cars, many rich people. However, in many cities of the world, some people have challenges as basic as finding enough nutrition. Let's travel to Africa, to the country of Lesotho, and see how the church is helping share life and hope with people there.
Welcome to Lesotho, a country in southern Africa. A lot of the children in this town are orphans. Their parents have died from AIDS. Now they live with their relatives, but they don't always have enough food, so sometimes they have to find their own food. Some of them wake up hungry every day, but now as the sun sets, they know it is time to eat. Children run down the road to a mud brick house where some women are cooking cornmeal mash for their dinner. These women are members of the Seventh-day Adventist Church across the street. Every day, children wait eagerly for their turn to eat. Mama, the woman in the big white hat, spoons out warm mash into a bowl, and another woman pours milk over it. The children are glad that Mama and her friends feed them good food. Now when the orphans go to school, they don't hear their growling tummies. They find it much easier to learn how to read and to do their math.
Well, what we need most is financial assistance to keep on feeding these children. If we could put up our own building where we can house these children and then feed them on a professional basis.
Thank you for giving to the World Mission Offering, also known as the World Budget, which supports the mission work of the Seventh-day Adventist Church around the world.
Don't go away. Mission 360 will be back after a short break.
Travel the world with Mission 360 to encounter exciting lives of missionaries who are reaching people for Christ. Watch tales of faith from people who left behind the comfort and familiarity of home to live and work in remote and strange places. These men and women of extreme faith will inspire your walk with God. To receive a free episode on DVD, call today or visit us online.
Welcome back. I hope you've enjoyed the places we visited today and that you've learned something new from the stories you heard.
There is so much need in our world. People are looking for hope, truth, and healing. Someone who will love them as Jesus did or does. We hope the ideas shared here will encourage you to see mission in a holistic, up-close, and personal approach.
So take time to be a blessing in someone's life today. We also ask you to pray for the hundreds of missionaries who have left the comfort of their home to touch people's lives for Christ.
If you want to learn more about mission work in Adventist Mission, visit adventistmission.org. There is a world of information on our website. Thanks for spending your time with us. We'll be back next week. But before we go, let's enjoy Let Your Heart Be Broken by Matt and Josie Manikis.
Let your heart be broken for a world in need. Feed the mouths that hunger, soothe the wounds that bleed. Give the cup of water and the loaf of bread. Serving in His stead. Here on earth applying principles of love, visible expressions, God still rules above. Living illustration of the living Word to the minds of all who've never seen or heard. Blessed to be a blessing, privileged by the need apparent everywhere, where mankind is wanting, fill the vacant place, be the means through which the Lord reveals His grace. Let your heart be tender and your vision clear. See mankind as God sees, serve Him far and near. Let your heart be broken by a brother's pain. Share your rich resources, give and give again. Add to your believing deeds that prove it true. Knowing Christ as Savior, make Him Master too. Follow in His footsteps, go where He has trod. In the world's great trouble, risk yourself